Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony. Last night's epic game lasted till nearly 3 a.m. in the East.
Tony Kornheiser, I know. I was just waking up.
Briefly, I'm sure. Briefly.
So you watched the homer live, right? You were up for the 18th inning.
I did, Tony.
You saw it.
I went to sleep, though, in the 15th, and I missed the 15th and 16th. And then I got up
Nothing
a little
happened.
earlier for that 3 a.m. break you spoke of.
Yeah,
And
nothing happened in the 15th
It was
and
still
16th.
going.
It was the 18th. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Shohei takes the mound. The Chiefs win their third straight, and Jeff Saturday joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the World Series and last night's 6-hour and 39-minute, 18-inning game that was finally won by a Freddie Freeman walk-off homer at 2:50 in the morning Eastern Time. The Dodgers used 10 pitchers. The Blue Jays used 9. A total of 44 players were in this game. Shohei Ohtani reached base 9 times, 4 unintentional walks, 4 more on extra base hits, including 2 home runs. Wilbon, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, you mentioned some of them. Ohtani, it just, there are no words. I mean, what Ohtani did, I mean, the home runs, the double on base, the walks, Ohtani. So that's my first thought. The second thought is the very thing that made this game irresistible for old dogs like you and me makes it unwatchable for 2 generations of people. And I don't know if baseball gets a net benefit. I don't really care, but I do wonder. Because I fell asleep in the 15th and 16th, but I woke back up to see the home run. Tony, Toronto got so many people thrown out on the base paths. How do you live with that in the 9th and the 10th at third base and home? It was just one gasp after another. The drama of it. When I was a kid, I lived for the drama of baseball. Like you. For me, baseball is my first sporting love. And it was the World Series, and it was crazy things that seemingly can only happen in the World Series. And that was last night. But I just wonder, how many people stayed with it?
Well, I mean, it was, a 20-hour game. Come on, not everybody stayed with it. Look, full disclosure, I didn't make it till the end. I dropped out in about the 8th or 9th inning, and I was amazed when I woke up, Mike, to find that I missed an entire game, 9 or 10 innings out there. So what I'm going to do now is give a love letter to baseball, because that was everything you wanted, okay? There was scoring opportunities all over. 37 runners were left on base. As you said, 6 different players thrown out either at second or third or at home. There were balls that were hit that carried all the way to the wall. It was a stunningly competitive game considering they didn't score for hours. Clayton Kershaw got in the game. That was fabulous. Yamamoto was warming up. He went 9 2 days before. So this is when a manager earns his money. Who does he intentionally walk? Who does he put in the game in the bullpen? Dodger bullpen was unbelievably good given what they have been. I talked yesterday about the circle of trust where Dave Roberts had 2 guys, Sasaki and Trinan. They both were in the game. Trinan gave up what was a go-ahead run at that point. Everybody else went 13 innings and gave up nothing. I mean, it was just so extraordinary. They had people in there. Will Klein, I've never heard of him. Who is he? It turns out, Mike, the last 2 years, he pitched 22 2/3 innings over 2 full years. He went 4 last night. He'd never gone 4. It was remarkable. The effort was remarkable.
Yeah, all of it was. For the rest of the show, I'm gonna call you Boz. Nobody will know what that is, just you and me. No rest for the weary tone. The 2 teams are right back at it tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 local time. Shohei takes the mound, despite Dave Roberts calling him spent after last night's effort. The Jays will turn to Shane Bieber. So, Tony, how does this game set up in your mind?
Well, Shohei is the center of attention because now he's going to go out there and pitch. And let's review some of the things from last night. He got on base 9 times. I understand it's an 18-inning game, but 9 times. He was never out at first. And he was walked intentionally 4 times by a good manager in Toronto. Now, why do you walk the guy? Because in his last 6 playoff games, Ohtani's batting .458. He has 6 home runs, 9 RBI, 9 runs scored, 7 walks. His OPS is 1.9 something. That's why you walk him. Like, I don't think he will get a pitch to see tonight. I don't. But he's the focus of attention. But the more subtle thing that's going on is, what if the starters don't go a long way? And you have to go to your bullpen. You used everybody last night. Both teams used everybody last night. And you not only have a game tonight, Mike, you have a game tomorrow night as well. Do you have guys who can go 3 straight nights? How do you portion out who can get there? I mean, that to me, that's the subtext that's the most interesting to me.
Me too, Tom. Because pitchers, as we know, used to go all the time. You know, you think about guys like Eckersley, Gossage, guys who were starters early in their careers and late in their World Series careers. It was, give me the damn ball, Skip. I'm going again. And I know how much you love those guys, because I love them too.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that is what I'm looking forward to. But, Tony, that's secondary. It's Shohei. It's just Shohei.
Yeah.
I don't care in what capacity. I just want to see him. Whether they're walking him, whether he's hitting it over somebody's rooftop, I just put him out there. Let me see Shohei, and the rest of it will settle in.
Let me ask you a question. Let's play toss-up, you and me. Which team do you think needs this game more? Do you think it's Toronto, because if they go down 3-1, maybe they don't make it? Or do you think it's L.A. because their bullpen, you're on borrowed time with that bullpen? You think it's Toronto?
I hear you. It's a narrow call for me, Tone, but it's Toronto. And we've seen teams come back from 3-1, both with the 2 games on the road and the 2 games at home. The Cubs did it in 16. So I hear you. I'm gonna play a hunch and say Toronto.
All right, let's move to the Monday night game where Kansas City scored 3 touchdowns in the second half on Patrick Mahomes' passes and comfortably beat Washington 28-7. Mahomes was 15 of 17 in the second half for 196 yards and those 3 touchdowns. Without Jaden Daniels, Washington was once again dull on offense. Wilbon, what does this result say to you about each team?
The Chiefs are in the process of becoming the Chiefs again. And it takes a while. And it doesn't need to be proclaimed in week 5 by every former player on television. It can take 9 weeks, 11 weeks, 13 weeks, 17 weeks. And so the Chiefs are in the process, it seems to me, of doing that. The Commanders are in the process of being what I thought they'd be, which is, and I'm not pronouncing them dead, but I just thought if I was going to pick a team to take a step back is not that far. They were in the NFC Championship game in January. But I thought the Commanders would take a little backslide. They are doing that. They can reverse it if, Jaden Daniels becomes whole again and stays that way. But that's where those 2 teams are for me.
Yeah, I mean, I live in Washington, D.C. I pay attention to the Commanders, even though I hate the nickname. Yeah, I mean, they're 3-5. They're 13th in the NFC. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. Were they just lucky because Jaden Daniels had this fabulous rookie season and now he's missed all or parts of 3 games and they've fallen like a rock? I mean, are they last year or are they this year? Kansas City, and I know we agree on this, they are a reliable, dependable commodity. They are like the bread that you go to the store to buy because you like the bread, and it never disappoints you. Okay, they started out 0-2. Now they've won 5 out of 6. In the last 5 games, they've scored 28 or more in all of those games. In the last 3 games, here's a great number, they've outscored their opponents 89-24. And they've got the best football player in the planet, Mahomes, still. And Kelsey can still catch things. They are nothing if not dependable. Although their next 3, Mike, is a gauntlet. At Buffalo, at Denver, Indianapolis at home. Combined record 18-5. That's a gauntlet. Yeah.
But Tony, you know what? I'll take them because of 15. So when I hear this other conversation out there about who's
the best
in his category as quarterback, shut up, please. Because the answer is nobody.
It doesn't make him the MVP every year, but he's the best football player.
He's the best.
Let's take a break. Still to come, with Lamar Jackson set to return, how should the Ravens protect him? We're going to ask Jeff Saturday.
We'll also ask him about Steelers center Zach Frazier not being able to release his hand from the football. Dumb rule.
That's a really
Dumb.
nice sport jacket. Is that new? Is that a new jacket that you've got?
Relatively.
That's
it might be
nice.
making its debut. This might be a debut.
I'm jealous.
Pardon the Interruption is presented by. You are watching Pardon the Interruption, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, part of Happy Hour.
Let's dig into the NFL trenches with our great friend, ESPN NFL analyst Jeff Saturday. Jeff, let's start with this. Lamar Jackson is expected to return from a hamstring injury for the Ravens on Thursday night. I think they play Miami. I'm not sure. As an offensive lineman, do you do anything different to protect a quarterback with that kind of specific injury, hamstring injury?
No, you honestly going in, Tony, as you have the conversation of, how strong is this thing? If he's like, man, I'm 100%, you're conditioned that athlete's going to go athlete, right? But if it's one of those, hey, I need some protection, it's where's our launch point? You're going to stay behind the center? We're going to move from tackle to tackle? Like, our rollout still considered? You kind of get the lay of the land of what he's comfortable of doing. And honestly, you do more of trying to squelch his want and desire to get outside the pocket and go make plays happen with his legs down the field, because you can't control that. And it sounds crazy, excuse me, but most of it is the decel, right? Like as he's sprinting and he's got to plant the decel, that's really where they end up pulling up lane more often. So you just try to encourage him, stay in the pocket, let other guys do yards after catch, yards after contact, lean on others, and let's live for another play.
Jeff, one guy who seems to need no help right now is Jonathan Taylor, who continues to kill it. And he got MVP chance on Sunday. A running back hasn't been MVP since 2012, which is absurd to old timers like Tony and me. One, can and should it happen this year? And how much is he benefiting from a pretty damn good offensive line?
Yeah, well, first of all, I definitely think so. And I was of the thought last year, even with Saquon, like, everybody's like, oh, these quarterbacks are having this great year. I'm like, Saquon didn't play a game and still, almost breaks the record. And so my whole thought is you're in a totally different air. That's where Jonathan Taylor is putting himself this year, is he's in that different air, right? LaDainian Tomlinson touchdown record is a potential if he continues on this. And he has had an insane impact on the hottest team really in the NFL, being the Indianapolis Colts. He does have a very good offensive line. Steichen's done a really good job of coupling plays, making things look very similar, which opens up holes. But make no mistake, he is making plays as well. Once he gets past that line of scrimmage, he's making guys miss. He's using his speed. He's using his vision. He's setting up his blocks. They go hand in hand. This is not just he's being carried. This is a benefit for both offensive line and running back. He should clearly be in the MVP conversation, and we should stop making it a quarterback award only. I get they have more stuff to them. They've always had more stuff. It's like, I don't understand anybody saying you don't think Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees, everybody, but Adrian Peterson has the year. He's the MVP. Let's stop taking it off the table for other players except for quarterbacks.
Another young running back who was having a different kind of impact early on, Cam Scatterbull. He had that gruesome injury, Jeff, and players, who've seen everything, it seems, needed to look away. When you are on the field and you had that kind of injury, how in the hell do you maintain focus? Or forget maintain, how do you get it back within a few minutes?
Oh, it's brutal. And look, like when you guys get, knees dislocated, ankles dislocated, all the things like you saw with Scatterbull. And by the way, the impact he had in New York, man, is and that you're hoping comes back after this injury and gets back the energy, the effort. This guy, he's infectious, right? So it's not only what happened, it's who it's happening to because of how much impact he had on his teammates. But when you see something that gruesome, it is hard not to look look away, because not only are you seeing your friend in pain, you're seeing what could potentially happen to you, and you're trying to block it out of your mind as quickly as possible, knowing in 4 minutes, you're going to be doing this again. We understand the risk we put ourselves at, but when you visually see it, it definitely can play mind tricks on you. So you try to turn away, start talking to each other, kind of minimize how much is going on in your head until post game. But the reality is, too, in practice, when guys get hurt, it's move the drill 20 yards and let's keep going. And so they've conditioned you, coaches and organizations, of injuries are part of the game. We got to continue to move on. And as unfortunate that is, it's just part of what we do in the NFL.
I will get you out of here on this. Steelers center Zach Frazier touched the ball because he thought the team was going to go into the hurry-up. And then he had to keep it there to avoid the penalty. As a center, what do you think of all that?
It's the worst. Here's the thing. We played so much no huddle in Indy, right? So I would go put my hand on the ball, and there'd be times I'd be down in my stance for, dang near 40 seconds, right? Because I got to the ball so quickly. And so now Peyton's making audibles. He's making adjustments. I'm trying to look, where's the safety? Where's the end? Where are the linebackers? And you got your hand on the ball, and they're very particular. So Frazier had to literally hold it. They walked back because, no one wants the call to be heard. Aaron's trying to kind of be a little covert. So you got to sit there and try to listen. And then when the guard comes up, hey, what's the play, right? I mean, that's literally how bad this thing is. I thought it was comical. I loved it. And it just shows some of the silliness, right, of the rules. I understand if we're trying to get you to jump off sides, but clearly that wasn't the intent here, that he couldn't get up and go walk in the huddle, just made it look like a spectacle. And I absolutely loved it because we shined in on a great center, and we give a tip of the cap today. My man Frazier, congrats. You got solo time on PTI, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Jeff.
Omaha.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks.
See you guys. Love y'all.
Let's take one last break. When we come back, Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs have yet to lose. I keep telling you about him, Wilbon. Are you paying attention?
Yeah, sure you do.
Yeah.
And every hockey team is on the ice tonight, Tony. You're going to break it down. All 16 matchups.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I love the notion of the center being out there all alone. And
Pardon the Interruption is presented by the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
happy time, people. Happy 29th birthday, Jack Eichel. The Las Vegas Golden Knights wrapped up Eichel's next 9 years with a $108 million contract extension that will take Eichel through 2034. Eichel led the Golden Knights in scoring last season with a career-high 94 points. Eichel was the leading playoff scorer for Las Vegas' Stanley Cup champions in 2023. He came over to Las Vegas after 6 seasons with the Buffalo Sabres. There was disagreement over Eichel's medical treatment, and that trade was made in 2021. Eichel is a 3-time All-Star and was a member of the United States team in the Four Nations face-off. He is likely to play for the United States in the upcoming Olympic Games.
Tony, it seems the industry and the league are a little conflicted about whether you set those 3 weeks aside in the middle of the season to compete in the Olympics. I love it. I've been there a couple or 3 times for those Olympic Games featuring NHL players. I think as an outside person looking, it's worth it. It's hella exciting, I'll tell you that.
I agree with you on that. Happy anniversary, James Harden. Around this date 13 years ago, Harden was traded from Oklahoma City to the Houston Rockets after he rejected a contract extension with the Thunder. In Houston, Harden led the league in scoring average 3 times and once in assists per game. Harden was the league MVP in 2018. Now 36, Harden's on the Clippers, and through their first 3 games, is averaging 21.7 points, 10.3 assists, and 5 rebounds. Harden's Achilles heel is the playoffs. All of Harden's numbers, points, assists, rebounds, and shooting percentage, are down in the playoffs from the regular season. Curiously, Harden is the last American-born MVP. Since Harden, we have Antetokounmpo, Jokic, Embiid, and Gilgeous-Alexander.
Tony, he's not in that grouping anymore, but the 10.3 assists per game is impressive. It's second in the league right now to only Joker. So Harden is still having an impact, this deep into his career.
Always loved him as a player. Always did. But the playoff stuff was, the numbers are the numbers. Happy trails to last night's game for the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors fell to the Spurs by 18 Victor Wembanyama had 24 points
Oh.
and 15 rebounds.
Oh.
Shot 7 of 8 from the field, 10 of 10 from the line. It was the Spurs' fourth straight win to start the season. That ties a franchise record. And the team is doing this without starting point guard De'Aaron Fox, who's nearly recovered from a hamstring strain.
Wembanyama took 9 threes a game last year. Last night he took no threes. Wembanyama, Shohei. That's it. Shohei, Wembanyama. Those two deserve the entire marquee until somebody else proves otherwise. Just them.
Let's go to the big finish. Lauri Markkanen dropped 51 on the Suns. Are you impressed?
Yeah, I am, but he took like 32 shots. You got to score 50, take 32 shots. Vikings quarterback Carson Wentz will have shoulder surgery and miss the rest of the season. Your thoughts?
Go to J.J. McCarthy. It was supposed to be his team. He's going to have half the season to take the team. The Saints will start rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck against the Rams. That okay with you?
Yeah. All 32 NHL teams will be on the ice tonight. Aren't you excited for that?
They're calling it a frozen frenzy. What do you think of that? That's a nice phrase. I like that. Last one, Knicks Bucks, Clippers Warriors tonight. Which is the more intriguing game?
Oh, Clippers Warriors. Clippers Warriors, I can go click, click, click right beside a World Series game that might go until 2 a.m. How can you resist that?
We're out of time. We'll try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads. And now to kick off Frozen Frenzy, Penguins at Flyers.
Sidney Crosby, right?